So in this semester, third semester, we are going to deal with thermal engineering 1. And the topic of today's session is Introduction to Perfect Gas Laws and Boyle's Law. So the topics to be covered in this application are ideal gas law. మా కనిపిస్తుందా స్క్రీన్ కనిపిస్తుందా మా స్క్రీన్ కనిపిస్తుందా okay. So the topics to be covered in this session are introduction, ideal gas law, Boyle's law, and problems on Boyle's law. So the syllabus for the first unit in this thermal engineering 1 is we are going to learn about Boyle's law, Charles law, and Avogadro's law, Joule's law. So after studying all these 4 laws, we will study about universal gas constant. Okay, and the relation between universal and characteristic gas constant and the specific heat of the gas constant. What is the relation between specific heats and some problems? Okay, so before going to gas laws, so first we have to know what is an ideal gas or perfect gas. So ideal gas or perfect gas, we will say any gas. If we take for example air, we will say air as an ideal gas or perfect gas when that gas is treated as some substance which is used to create the relationship between pressure, volume, and amount of gas and temperature. Okay, so it is the characteristics. So the sum of the characteristics of that ideal gas or perfect gas are, so if you take ideal gas, for example, if you treat air as ideal gas, the particles in that air or that ideal gas should be very small. Okay, so that the space that is occupied, if the particle size is small, automatically the gas will not occupy more space. Okay, so that is the first characteristic of an ideal gas. The particles in the gas should be very small so that the gas does not occupy any space. Okay, and next one is that ideal gas should not move randomly. Okay, that ideal gas should move in a straight line motion. So this is the second characteristics of ideal gas. And next one is there should be no forces between the particles of the ideal gas. Okay, that means there should be no external forces between the particles of the gas, and the particles should collide with one another and with the walls of the container. That means if you take that gas inside a vessel like thing, that particles should collide with the walls of the container, or it should collide with each other internally. Okay, so that means ideal gas or perfect gas, if we treat any gas as this ideal gas or perfect gas, it should be a theoretical substance which should give the relationship between pressure, volume, amount of gas, and temperature. Okay, so ideal gas means generally it will not exist in nature. We are assuming that there will be an ideal gas, but in reality or in actual practice there is no ideal gas in nature. Okay, so if we assume any gas to be an ideal gas, we should obtain a relation between pressure, volume, and temperature and amount of gas. So there are 3 laws basically: Boyle's law, Charles law, and Avogadro's law. If we combine these 3 laws, we will get the relationship between pressure, volume, temperature, and amount of gas. These variables here we have already seen. We will obtain the relation between all these variables by combining these 3 laws: Boyle's law, Charles law, Avogadro's law. So if we combine these 3 laws, we can obtain the relationship between pressure, temperature, volume, and amount of gas. Okay, so the final law that is obtained by combining these 3 laws, we call it as an ideal gas law. Okay, so since we are assuming here an ideal gas here, and we are obtaining the relationship between all these 3 variables, then law which is obtained by combining all these 3 laws is called as an ideal gas law. Okay, so this ideal gas law gives the relationship between pressure, temperature, volume, and amount of gas. So this relationship is also found out by combining all the three laws, Boyle's law, Charles law, and Avogadro's law. We will see all these laws one by one. Okay. So first, what is this ideal gas law? So ideal gas law means, so here PV is equal to nRT. So P here means pressure, V is the volume of the gas, N is the number of moles, T is the temperature, and R is the ideal gas constant. Okay. That means the relationship between pressure, volume, and how much amount of gas we are taking. So what is pressure? What is pressure? Pressure means the force that is acting per unit area. For example, if you take any unit area, some space here, okay, some area, the force that is acting on this area may be treated as pressure. Volume means space. That means some amount of volume. If you take container or any vessel, it would contain some volume. Okay. So moles means number of molecules that are present in this volume is denoted with the number of moles N, and T is the temperature of the gas. Okay. And R is a constant value. So the relationship between this pressure variable, volume variable, and N, number of moles, and temperature, these variables are related as PV is equal to nRT. So this is the ideal gas equation, and this equation is applicable only for ideal gases. Ideal gases means we have already seen the characteristics of ideal gases. It is an ideal in nature and it does not exist anywhere. Okay. If in problem, if it is given as an ideal gas, we can apply PV is equal to nRT. Okay. So the formula for ideal gas is PV is equal to nRT. Next, coming to Boyle's law, we have already seen that Boyle's law, Joule's law, Charles law, Avogadro's law. If we combine all these three laws, we will again get back into ideal gas equation. Okay. So coming to Boyle's law, if you take this ideal gas, what are the variables here? P, pressure P, volume V, number of moles N, R is a constant value, and T is temperature. If you keep all these three, that means N, R, and T as constant. N means number of moles as constant, characteristic gas constant is always constant, and temperature is constant. What happens? PV is equal to constant. Okay. So if PV is equal to constant, and if we take V to this side, what happens? P is proportional to 1 by V. Okay. So that means as we go on increasing the value of P, what happens? The volume will decrease. Since P is inversely proportional to 1 by V, as we go on increasing the value of P, the volume will decreases. Okay, these are inversely proportional. So if you take in real practice, you see, if you take a vessel here, so if you go on increasing, if you take some water or gas inside the vessel, if we go on increasing, so if you take any vessel like this, if you take any water inside a vessel, so this is the water inside the vessel. So if you go on increasing the pressure here, so if you go on increasing the pressure here, what happens to this volume? If you apply force here, what happens to volume? Volume will decrease. That means if we increase the pressure here, the volume here is decreased. So if you decrease the pressure, the volume will increase. That means both are inversely proportional. If one term increases, the other term decreases here. So I have written P is proportional to 1 by V, inversely proportional relation. Okay. So that means this is Boyle's. So that means by keeping temperature as constant, here we have written Boyle's law discovered the correlation between pressure and volume. That means as we go on increasing the pressure, the volume will decrease. We are assuming that temperature and number of moles constant. So here in the previous section, if you see PV is equal to nRT, temperature and N and T becomes constant, R is always constant. So P is proportional to 1 by V. So if you take P to this side, what happens? PV is equal to some constant value. Okay. So the properties are pressure is inversely proportional to volume. And another form of the equation is, so if you take two vessels here. So here if you take so if you take two vessels here, so this is one vessel and this is another vessel. For example, here the vessel is at volume, the volume of this is V1 and the volume of this is V2. Okay. So volume of one vessel is V1 and volume of another vessel is V2. And the pressure of this vessel is P1 and the pressure of this vessel is P2. So if we apply Boyle's law between these two vessels or containers, then we will say that P1 V1, that means pressure of this vessel into volume of this vessel is equal to pressure of this container into volume of this container. Okay, so P1 into V1 is equal to P2 into V2. So if you multiply P1 into V1, we will get the same value when we multiply P2 into V2. Okay. So if the product of both the pressure and volume of this container is equal to pressure and volume of this second container also. So that constant value we will denote with a capital, any constant K or X or anything variable we can take. Okay. So next, if you draw a graph between pressure and volume. So if you draw a graph between pressure and volume, what we can observe here is, so for a particular P1 V1 value, we have obtained this point. That means for a particular P1 V1. So in order to draw a graph, we need some points P1 V1, P2 V2. That means we need coordinates. Okay. So if you have coordinates, we can draw the graph. Okay. So this is the coordinate point P1 comma V1. Okay, if you take another coordinate point P2 comma V2, so this is another coordinate point. So this is coordinate point P1 V1, this is coordinate point P2 V2. So if you draw P1 V1 here, what happens is this length is P1. Okay, so this length is P1. This is the pressure and this is the volume. So volume is drawn on x-axis and pressure is drawn on y-axis. Okay, so if you take P1 here, so P1 should be pointed here and this is volume V1. So this is the point. So if P2 V2 is drawn, this is the point. So if you join these 2 points, this is the curve that is obtained when you join pressure and volume. That means if you observe here, as we go on increasing the volume, so the volume increases here from V1 to V2 here. Okay, so this is the increasing order. So as the volume increases here from V1 to V2, what happens to pressure? The pressure initially is high. As we go on increasing the volume, the pressure decreases. Okay, so if you do any experiments, we will observe that as we go on increasing the volume here from V1 to V2, the pressure decreases. Or if we go on decreasing the volume in this direction, the pressure will increases. That means both the pressure and volume are inversely proportional to each other. Okay, so that means if you P1 means initial pressure and V1 is the initial volume and P2 is the final pressure and V2 is the final volume. If you take the 2 containers, then these 4 are related by using the equation P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2, which is equal to some constant X value. Okay, so pressure is inversely proportional to V. Pressure is proportional to 1 by V. If you take V to this side, P into V is equal to constant X. So next, if you see some problems relating to Boyle's law, here the problem is 17.5 ml of gas is at 4.5 atmosphere. So if it is given in units of milliliters or liters, it is the volume of the fluid. So it should be represented with V1 or V2. Volume means V1. And if the units are given in atmosphere or pascals or kilopascals, it would be a pressure unit. Okay. So here the given data is a 17.5 ml sample of gas. Ml means volume, liters, milliliters. Milliliters means volume. So initially a gas is at a volume of 17.5 ml and the pressure of the gas is 4.5 atmosphere. So it is seen here in this diagram. Initially, if you take any container here, the volume is 17.5 ml and the pressure initially is at 4.5 atmosphere. So this is the initial condition. Okay. So we are asked here, what will be the volume if the pressure becomes 1.5 atmosphere with a fixed amount of gas and temperature? So what will be the volume? So we have to find out the volume, new volume or second final case volume. If that pressure is changed to 1.5 bar. So initially the pressure is 4.5 atmosphere and finally the pressure becomes 1.5 atmosphere. So we have to find out the new volume here, and with a fixed amount of gas means with a fixed N value. Amount of gas means N. Okay. And fixed temperature means temperature is also constant. So the temperature is constant here and N is constant here. The law is Boyle's law. So in a Boyle's law, what is the formula? P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2 is the formula. So here P1 is given as 4.5, V1 is given as 17.5 ml and P2 is given as 1.5 atmosphere and we have to find out V2. So this is the given data. P1 is 4.5 atmosphere, V1 is 17.5 ml, P2 is 1.5 atmosphere. So we have to find out V2. So we know in a Boyle's law, P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. So by using that formula, we have to find the value of V2. Okay. So substitute the value of P1 as 4.5 atmosphere and V1 as 17.5 ml and P2 as 1.5. So if you calculate this by using calculator, we will get it as 52.5 value. Okay. So since it is volume, the unit should be ml. So since we are taking ml only, the unit should be ml. So if it is given in liters, the unit should be in liters here. So next, coming to Boyle's law, problem 2. Here a fixed amount of gas occupies a volume of 1 liter. So 1 liter means the units of volume is liters, means it is initial volume V1 and exerts a pressure. So initial pressure is 400 kilopascals. So initial pressure in the given data is 400 kilopascals on the walls of container. Okay, that means here they had taken a container here. So that container contains a gas. Okay. So that container contains a gas and this gas has a volume of the 1 liter and a pressure of 400 kilopascals. Okay. So initial volume V1 is equal to 1 liters and initial pressure P1 is equal to 400 kilopascals. Next, what would be the pressure exerted by the gas? So what would be the pressure means we have to find out the final pressure P2. Okay. So if it is completely transferred into a new container having a volume of 3 liters, okay, that means first they had initially taken first container. Okay, so first they has taken first container. So this container has a volume V1 and pressure P1. So this volume is 1 liter. Okay. So next, this gas is transferred into another container here and this container has a volume of 3 liters. Okay. So this gas is, this volume is 3 liters and this one is 1 liter. So this is liter, then this is liter. Okay. So first there is a gas in this container and this container has a volume of 1 liter. And a pressure of 400 kilopascals. This gas is transferred into this container and this container has a capacity of 3 liters. So we have to find out the final pressure here. Okay, so P2 here. So they are asked to find out they are asked us to assume the temperature and the quantity of the gas remains constant. That means T is constant and number of moles as constant. That means T and N to be constant means it is Boyle's law. So as per Boyle's law, P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. So V1 is given, P1 is given, P2 we have to find out. So what is the value of V2 is given, and what is the value of P2 is P1 V1 divided by this V2. Okay, so P1 is 400 kilopascals and V1 is 1 liter. So 400 into 1 divided by V2 is 3 liters. So if we calculate this, we will get 133.33 kilopascals. Since initial pressure is given in kilopascals, I have written final pressure also in kilopascals. Okay, so this is the final pressure of the gas when we shift this gas from 1 liter container to 3 liter container. Next, coming to third problem. A gas exerts a pressure of 3 kilopascals. Kilopascals means it is a unit of pressure. Pascals, atmospheres, bar, all these are units of pressure. Okay, so initial pressure of the gas is given as 3 kilopascals on the wall of container 1. So when the container 1 is emptied into a 10 liter container, so next we are taking another container which has a capacity of 10 liters. So final volume of the container is 10 liters. Okay, so the pressure exerted by the gas increases to 6 kilopascals. So the final pressure is 6 kilopascals and initial pressure is 3 kilopascals. So, and this is the final volume because container 1 is emptied into a 10 liter container. So this is the final volume. Initial volume is volume of container 1. So that volume we have to find out. That means initial volume of container 1 we have to find out. We are asked to assume that the temperature and quantity of gas remains constant. That means T is constant and N is constant. So in which law both temperature and N is constant is Boyle's law. So we have to use Boyle's law for this formula. Okay. So according to Boyle's law, P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. So we have to find out V1. Okay. So V1 is equal to P2 V2 by P1. So the value of P2 is 6 kilopascals. P2 is 6 kilopascals. The value of volume 2 is 10 liters. And the initial pressure is 3 kilopascals. So here 3 ones, 3 twos. If you cancel 2 into 10, 20 liters. Okay. So the volume of the container 1 is 20 liters. Okay. So this is how to solve the problems by using Boyle's law. So in all the problems, if we observe, they had given to assume that the temperature and the gas to remain constant. So the only law in which the temperature and gas quantity of gas remains constant is Boyle's law. In Boyle's law gives the relationship between the pressure and volume. That means in problems they will give only pressures and volumes in the problems of Boyle's law. Okay. So if only these values are given, we can apply directly the Boyle's law equation and we can solve the unknown value. That means here there are 4 variables, see P1, V1 and P2, V2. Out of 4, they will give 3 values. We are asked to find out the 4th value. Okay, na? Okay, thank you.